the starting point is to let go of the idea that this year you're going to find your soulmate. Okay, just let go of that idea. That's a desire, it's a need, but let go of the idea that you have to find this person in order to be happy, because it's being happy that's going to attract that person. Okay, so we postpone our happiness till we fulfill what we want, as opposed to recognize right now in our life, we have what we need in order to be happy. And then when a woman is feeling that, then she will rise up with the right desire. The desire is what allows you to go, this is the one for me. I know lots of women listening, you've been with guys on dates and you go, I'm just not getting it. I'm not getting the spark. Why am I not falling in love? What's missing? Well, that falling in love only happens for women, generally speaking. I can't say every woman, is when a deep need is being fulfilled. And one of the great challenges, this is the other side of it. There's the great hope and the possibility and how you're going to create that. The challenge is that to recognize the right person for you, to be attractive to the right person for you, to have the right person fall in love with you, want you. That person is going to be drawn to you as you connect with the part of you that is fulfilled already. That's a big, big task. But, this is what life is about, is finding the fulfillment within us. If we can trace back to failed relationships, I've been doing this 40 years, and it's always where people are putting their partner as a source of their happiness, and rather than themselves as a source of their happiness. I know this gets a little philosophical, but I bring it back down to one of my most important teachings for men. And this is where women have to understand this, because by your reactions, by your responses, by your behaviors, you're going to have to teach men today. Men today are different species, and they're very, very different. They don't make commitments. They're less in touch with their masculinity. There's a place where a man makes a decision and he sticks to it and he goes for it. He's got a goal and he wants to seduce you, wants to keep you in his life. Men are losing that drive. And part of it, and you'll relate to this probably from some of your past experiences, where on a day when you're not happy, a guy gets all bent out of shape and tries to talk you. Well, what's wrong? Why aren't you happy? But what's the problem? You're making a big deal out of this. You're worried about this. Why not? Look at the bright side of things. And what happens then is, if you're not always sort of perky and positive or whatever, he ends up feeling blamed. You're not blaming him. You're just being who you are. But he ends up feeling blamed. This hypersensitivity that men have today is, we have evolutionary progressed to where we're more aware of our feeling side. Okay, I call that the feminine side. The more detached, analytical side is our masculine side. And why to call it that? It's a differentiation. We have to have distinctions to make sense of the world. It's not all just blah. We say these are words, and this word means this, and this means that. Distinctions are everything. Within ourselves, as men and women, we have a male and a female side. And if I could, put the challenge for women today, in their 40s particularly, is that your male side tends to be stronger than your female side. And it's your female side that can know the right guy, can attract the right guy, and it's your female side that can feel happiness. That's where the happiness comes from. Confidence comes from your male side. So what men are drawn to a woman who has an inner fulfillment, who actually, I'm going to say the word, feels, I need a man in my life. However, I'm also getting what I need to be happy without a man. But I need a man. Why? To be happier. A man has the power to take you higher, but not to lift you up. It's just a very clear distinction. And ultimately, the foundation of what women have always needed from men, and this is why I'm trying to define the feminine need, because men are confused. Men think you need us to make you happy. Okay. And the truth is, that's an illusion. You make yourself happy, and it's the anticipation I'm going to get what I need that makes you happy. But men cannot make you happy. They can make you happier. Okay. So there's a distinction there. It's very important. When my wife's like on a roller coaster some days, I'm like, okay, what can I do to help? Because I know my job is not to make her happy. My job is to make it safe for her to be herself. safe for her to feel loved and accepted just the way she is. Now, I explained this to men, but why am I explaining it to you? Because you have to communicate to a man at times when he's trying to fix you or make you feel better, and just go, oh no, just being with you makes me feel good, and being able to express some of my feelings and thoughts, it feels great. And you don't have to fix it or solve it. It's just to create that dynamic where he feels successful. Now, ultimately, men are attracted and bond to women when a woman puts out the message that she needs him. Now, I know this is so confusing to women because they always associate needing a man with neediness.
Right.
Okay? Nobody likes neediness, and a woman hates neediness in a man. Okay. And so she's terrified of showing need. So there's two ways to experience this. This is a big question. Women always have it. Is like, but wait a second, need is a bad thing. Need is weakness. Need is the foundation of love. I mean, when you're hungry, okay, think about this for a moment. If you just ate a meal and you don't need food, somebody gives you food, it's not a big deal. You haven't eaten in a day. Go for a day without eating, and your body says, I need food, and somebody gives you food. Oh, that food tastes so good. You love that food. You love them. Love comes from fulfilling a need, and excitement and passion comes from filling a desire, motivation, eagerness, and all that, and fulfilling a desire. But happiness, fulfillment, and love comes when you're in touch with your needs. And, it's a big discussion now about women finding their vulnerability. And that's tough when you're independent, when you're on your own, when you're successful, when you're making money, when you feel like, what do I need a man for? And this is what so many women feel today is, what do I need a man for? Well, I want to give you some language for this. First of all, you're beginning the new year. Let this year be a year where you create a series of positive dating experiences by not expecting the person you go out with to be the perfect person. This is a real key message. If you come to my house and you'll say, oh, what a beautiful office I have, what a beautiful house I have, and it looks so nice. But if you wanted to buy the house, you'd be looking at the cracks, you'd be looking at the plumbing, you'd be looking, are there rats? Basically, when we're thinking about making a commitment, like looking for a life partner, the brain becomes hyper vigilant to look at everything that's wrong. You want to free yourself from that hyper vigilance of like, is this the one? Is this not the one? Am I wasting my time? Am I not? Knowing that what you want to do is use men to feel happier. That's it. You don't owe them anything. Just to know that if you're on a date with a guy, just to be with a happy woman is a huge gift to a man because he gets to feel successful. So you've done your job. You don't have to do anything for him. You just have to be yourself and use him. It's literally like, a guy can say this, a woman can't. But I say to my wife, honey, I'm a tool. Just use me. And I said that one time to her. He says, it's amazing that you can feel comfortable saying that. Because women don't use me. I don't want to be used. That's okay. If for a man, that's what we're about, is we want to feel successful, to be used. Our sensitivity there, the hypersensitivity of these modern men, is that we need to feel we're successful because they don't have the confidence, and they need a woman to build up his confidence. And so we'll explore today some ways to do that. But I'll let you ask some questions. I've been going on for quite a while, but I just want women to know that men are desperately looking to feel successful. And what the message that makes a man feel successful is that he thinks I've made you happy. And what you have to do is clearly let him know that he provides safety. And the fact that he's just listening or he's there, show him the little things he does and acknowledge that it makes you feel good. Then he feels like, okay, I'm doing my job. The symbol that he's done his job is you're happy. But what men don't yet discern is the way I accomplish that reward, so to speak, her happiness, is by making it safe for her to be herself. And men haven't learned that. So that's a message that women have to communicate more and more. And how do you do that? It's like little statements like, oh, I'm just feeling so happy I can be myself with you. And, oh, you were so helpful when you did this. I know I could share what I think with you, and you'll always see the good in it. And not being argumentative, particularly in the beginning of a relationship, is such a key thing because it doesn't matter. All you want to do is share. And then when he maybe disagrees with you, here's 3 practical tips. Whenever there's disagreement, speak your mind. Don't Butter it all up. Be yourself. Be your authentic self, but do it in a tactful way. So he says, what do you think about the election? And then maybe you say something and he disagrees with you. And then whatever he says, you say, well, that makes sense. And then say what you say. Or you go, well, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that. You have to, these like buffer statements. And women don't realize how important they are because these little buffers bump his testosterone up. Men need 10 times more testosterone than a woman to be attracted to her. He needs to feel this sense of success. But it doesn't mean she has to put herself down. It means that she just has to give him the little message that he's a success, which allows him to let her be as powerful as him. You know, the old-fashioned thing is women have to be submissive. They have to go down, whatever. And that would somehow, make men love you. And it does, but it keeps women from being authentic and truly to who they are, and powerful women on their male side. So you have that confidence on your male side. The challenge is to use that confidence to go to your female side and not see it as weakness, but see it as vulnerability, see it as emotionality, see it as not being perfect. It's seeing it as, it's the part of us that can love because it needs support. It's not an island. And as a woman can find that place inside of her, she not only will find greater happiness and love, but she will attract the right guy for her.